Hi everybody, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. So in today's video,
if a man cannot stand up for you in a relationship, in a marriage, a partnership, whatever it is, to his parents, he cannot stand up for you to nobody. He cannot be a leader, because this is the thing. If you can't stand up to the people who brought you into this life, you can't stand up to anybody. Not in my book.
yeah, I've seen a lot of videos in the past few years with couples, doing this prank where the lady would try to disrespect the mother of the boyfriend or husband, right? And the energy that comes from the husband or boyfriend towards the girlfriend or wife is something else. And like every time I see videos like that, one thing that crosses my mind is he going to be the same for you? Like, is he going to have that same energy towards his mom for you? Or is it like, this is the boundary, don't cross this, don't come near me and my family? And usually it has to do with the entire family, okay? And that's why I also advise that before you get into any relationship, if you're still looking to get into a relationship, go and meet the family. Go and see the family dynamics, okay? Because the worst thing you can do is settling down with a man who comes from an enmeshed family situation. And he's kind of the golden child in that family. And everything he says goes. All right. And he's been enabled and he's been allowed, and everything that he does is okay. Can never be wrong in mother's eyes, can never be wrong in daddy's eyes, can never be wrong in his siblings' eyes. All right. Most of the times because maybe they depend on him, or he's the one that has the money. Or sometimes he doesn't have anything. They just enable his bad behavior. All right. So it's gotten to his head, because he has this whole army of people who support him, whether he's right or wrong. And when these are some of the signs you should look out for when you go into the family, like see how they respond, even if you point out some of the things that he does that, or jokingly, they will tell you, they will show you that, hey, don't come and say this about our brother or our son, okay? Our family is like this, and our family is always family, our family, our family. It's almost like they have this perception that their family is like perfect, okay? And you should feel grateful to be allowed to join into their family. So vet them, all right? And be sure that this is the family that you are going to join. A lot of people say when you marry someone, you marry their entire family. I disagree with that. I'm only marrying one person. There's a lady in the stitches who explains my point. I about two ladies and spiritual whistleblower. Okay, she had a take on all of this and why your man's family may hate you. Oh, I can't wait for you to see that, because she said everything. She said everything. To be honest, I don't have to talk. So without wasting your time, let's get into the stitches, and I'm going to come back. And please don't forget to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Membership is still on. If you want to join, you can join. But let's get into the video, and thank you so much for watching.
I remember a couple years back, my mom told me if a man cannot protect you or stand up for you against his mother, then he is not the man for you. And I would 100% tell my daughter the same thing. Being in a relationship with a man who's in a relationship with his mom or a mama's boy seems like hell. Ideally, a man shouldn't have to choose between his mom or his wife, because the dynamic between the mother and son should be a healthy one. He should have differentiated himself from his family of origin. Realigned relationships to prioritize his wife and children if there are any. And mom should expect this, right? Because that's what happens when you launch your children and they begin establishing self, finding love, and creating their own family. A mother with healthy behaviors is not emotionally dependent on her son. She doesn't view her son's partner as a threat or competition or someone who has to appease her in order to be a part of their family. There is no expectation of conformity to her system or her values. There's no desire for control. There is no enmeshment. There's genuine interest in knowing the human her son wants to spend the rest of his life with. There's a desire to have a healthy relationship with this person and an expectation that they are committed to each other, thus committing to a new system. When a man realigns his relationships and commits to a new system, a healthy dynamic looks like his wife, mother, and other extended family members coexisting in their respective roles with boundaries. Any sign of enmeshment between mother and son or the partner's whole family of origin, I would advise my daughter to run for the hills and don't look back.
His family hates you for a few reasons. The first reason is because he does this thing called triangulation. If this man is a narcissist and abuser, you're not going to find out until the end of the relationship collapse and implodes, and then all the dirt comes out. You're going to find out who is in the darkness helping him behind the scenes to abuse you and disrespect you, and they're also helping him to cover up his cheating. But the reason his family doesn't like you is because he's been gossiping about you the entire time you was with him. He's behind your back telling all y'all business every time y'all get in a fight. He's running to his mom, his sister, his daddy, his brother, his uncle. He might even throw some lies in there and say that he suspects you're cheating on him when you're not. He's cheating. And he's paranoid in his head because, you know, he knows he's doing you wrong, but he's projecting, and he's just going to automatically assume that you're doing the same thing. And he's going to tell his family that he suspects you're cheating. And the thing is, they know he's cheating on you. They know the side chick, or if he's sleeping with an ex-wife, an ex-baby mama, the family knows he's cheating on you for sure. And they're going to help him cover that up. So one of the reasons why his family dislikes you is because he's steady behind your back, running his mouth about you to them. And the reason that he's doing that is because he knows eventually you're going to find out that he's cheating on you. He's going to sabotage the relationship and blame you for it. And he's going to need a bunch of people to support his actions. Even though he knows he's going to be the cheater, he's going to destroy the relationship, he needs a bunch of people on his side to come against you when you find out the truth. So by keeping his family in position to back him up, that's his army, that's his cult. Even though he's wrong, they're going to back him. Just look at it as a demonic cult of snakes. This is all very wicked and demonic, and don't worry, God sees everything. God's going to remove you up out of that situation, and they're all going to turn on each other once you remove yourself. Another reason why his family does not like you is because once you find out that he's cheating and you cannot tolerate the abuse any longer, and you make a conscious decision to cut him off, now they're going to be mad because he's going to be abusive towards them. You were the scapegoat that he was abusing, and now he has to figure out who he can turn that anger and frustration on. His family does not want to deal with him. His mama does not want to deal with him. His sister, they don't, because he will cuss them out and he will turn on them. You was the one keeping him off of them. Okay. That's why they want him with a dumb, weak woman, so that the dumb, weak woman can take the abuse. So his family doesn't have to deal with his bullshit or his abusive behavior. So with you out the picture, they've got to help him, you know, either it's the new side chick, and it usually is, he's going to turn on the new woman. The side chick becomes the new girlfriend, the new wife. He's going to turn that anger on his family and the new woman. Okay. And the fact that you're standing your ground and standing your boundaries and you will not take him back, it's going to make him more angrier. That's why he uses the new woman, the side chick that knew all about you. She's now become your replacement, the new woman. She's going to cyber stalk you and harass you because he's trying to get back with you. Or he's trying to turn you into a side chick who will continue to allow him access so that he can sleep with you and control you. But if you're not cooperating, it's going to frustrate him. He's going to take that anger out on his new woman and his family members, okay? Because he's never going to look in the mirror and take accountability. He has to always blame someone, somebody. He's going to turn on the people closest to him. So never, when you catch that man cheating and you get fed up of the abuse, when I say you leave and don't look back, when I tell you to block his family, when I tell you to block the mutual friends, block anyone connected to this man, I don't care if you've built a bond with his children, your stepchildren. Those are not your biological children. And he will, in fact, use those children, his kids that he has with another woman. He will use them to stay in touch with you, to keep tabs on you, to spy on you, to work on your heartstrings. You're the stepmommy. We love you. No, He's going to play on your heartstrings and use his children, especially if they're teenagers or adults. They're going to be just as manipulative, and he's going to use them to stay connected to you, to keep tabs on you, to pull you back in. If you stay connected to his mama, she's a manipulator, liar, con artist. She knows the side chicks. She knows who he's sleeping with, but still she'll call you up after the breakup and try to guilt trip you. Come on, baby, come on back. My son didn't mean that. You know, the family love you. I put up with it with his father. His father cheated on me and I still kept my family together. You have to cut his family off. They are toxic. They are demonic. They are incredibly dysfunctional. And he turned out abusive because that's how they trained him. That's how they taught him. He's not the only abuser and womanizer and cheater in his family. There's a string of it. And you best believe, do not trust his family. They don't like you because they envy you, your power, your strength to walk away from the abuse, something that they'll never do because they all abuse each other. And they hate you because he's been talking about you like a dog behind your back. You're not the weak, dysfunctional, toxic person. You're the total opposite of the women in his family. And you're not the piece of shit, weak woman that the men in his family are used to having. They want a weak woman that they could cheat on and walk all over. You're not that girl. So they're going to hate you for multiple reasons. Don't worry about it. Disassociate, block them all, and move on. God will bless you and level you up in their faces. He'll just bounce from woman to woman, repeating those same behaviors. God bless y'all.
You know how people say, be careful of who you marry, because when you marry them, you marry their family, and those people can create issues in their marriage if they're not good people. Here's the thing. I disagree with that statement. I am marrying one person, not 10 other people. All right. And if they are creating issues within the marriage, it's only because the person who comes from that family is allowing them to do so. What do I mean by that? Let's say I take my husband to a family reunion, right? And my uncle, mad disrespectful, and is being really rude, whatever the case may be, stirring up some drama. I'm going to address it. It is my job, because that is my family, to put my foot down and let them know, you're not about to disrespect my husband. And you think you got some footing to do that because what? You're my uncle? You think that you're number one because I've known you longer? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This is the man that I picked to have kids with, to build a family with, to go under covenant with God with. And I'm not about to let somebody, because they're related to me, to put that in jeopardy. Now, typically when you come from a toxic family, been there, done that, seen some crazy things, all right? So not talking out the side of my neck, but typically when you come from a toxic family, you have what I've seen, one of two people. One, when you have a spouse, they expect you to kind of deal with it the way they dealt with their toxic family. And that is, just get over it. That's okay. That's just how they are. That's dead. Or number two, the person's just like, I've dealt with it. And you know what? I'm cool with it. I can let it roll off my shoulders. But what you're not about to do is talk to my husband sideways. What you're not about to do is talk to my wife sideways. So until you get it together, you can get cut off. Number two is who you want to be with. All right. So it's not so much so of, oh, you're marrying the family, so if they create issues, it can affect your marriage. Not really, because you can cut people off. I 110% believe snip, snip, on to the next. It's not that deep, because why in the world would you put your household, the family that you are creating, the person that you picked to build a whole other generation with, to bring kids into this world, you are really willing to put that at risk? Because you're too intimidated to address a family member? I don't feel bad for those people. I don't feel bad, because a lot of people are like, it's just hard. You better talk to God, get equipped to deal with it, and put somebody in their place real quick, because no, it's not cute and it's not okay. And it's not okay that you make your spouse put up with it. All right. You know what they say? No, my favorite saying, life is hard, get a helmet. Because at this point, you got to pick your heart. What's harder? Your marriage, the household that you are building, having inner turmoil and conflict and on, let's say, potentially risk of divorce, or putting somebody in their place and cutting them off that's being toxic toward the family that you are creating. Even though you may be a little intimidated, I promise you B is going to be easier than A. That's all I'm saying. Been there, done it, ain't got a problem with it at all.
You know, if you're a married man and your side of the family tends to be a little bit difficult with their comments and unhealthy expectations, it's your job to protect your wife from those comments. Because I'll be honest with you, man, when your wife married you, she didn't sign up to deal with your overbearing mother, with your disrespectful father, and your siblings who do not understand what the word boundary means. And it is absolutely 100% your responsibility to put a stop to it as soon as it happens. Because if you don't stop it the first time it happens, you have now officially communicated that this behavior is okay. Now I understand that this is your family, you grew up with them, you know each other's buttons, and maybe you're a little bit more aggressive towards each other, and that's okay. Not for your wife. And if for whatever reason your family insists on being disrespectful, you do not turn to your wife and ask her to let it slide. You turn to your family and inform them that your wife's emotional well-being is a priority for you, and you're just not willing to compromise that. Because I'm telling you, the last thing you want is your wife asking you why you didn't stand up for her in front of your family. Yes, of course there are exceptions, and yes, of course it can be flipped for the wife. All I'm saying is, don't let your family disrespect your spouse. It's that simple.
They said everything, especially spiritual whistleblower. When you've been through something and you've told your story so many times, and it feels like any person or anybody you try to turn to supports the person who did those things, and it feels like you're screaming but nobody can hear you, and everyone supports them and make you out to be the bad person, and you finally hear someone put everything into perspective. Oh my God, it's so therapeutic. I'm so grateful I came across a video because it did things. I felt seen, I felt heard, and it kind of is a relief, if I should say that, for the video that she made me feel relieved that I wasn't crazy. Okay, I wasn't making things up, if you know what I mean. But like I said, it's very, very important. Very, 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 very important. If you want to get married, if you want to be in a relationship, to be sure of the person first that you're getting into the relationship with, how they feel about you. Are they going to protect you when it comes to friends and family? Are they going to be there for you, or are they going to sell you out to them to cover themselves, to protect themselves? Like, will they throw you to the wolves to shield themselves? Are they going to use you as bait? You go out there and everybody's mocking you and you're like, how do they know my issue? And you are thinking about everybody else except him, but you're lying next to your number one enemy. Oh, may you never meet men like this in your life. Ever. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's horrible. I don't remember how many times I'm going to say it, but it's horrible. It's the worst situation, and I will never wish it on anybody. Lying next to your enemy, someone who hates you, like hate you, hate your guts, hates everything, tries everything to sabotage you, tell everybody you are this horrible person, but somehow they will never leave you. They'll stick around, try to ruin everything in your life. But yeah, we'll still carry on, with our heads held high, and try to figure out how to navigate the rest of our lives. All right. But like I said, it's very, very, very important. Family is important, but the man that you choose to go into the relationship with is even important, if you know what I mean. Okay. Before you have them children with them, before you settle down with them, please get to know who they are. And if you have the slightest inkling, bounce. Don't give them the benefit of the doubt. Don't listen to that sob story about how they were mistreated in their lives and so on and so forth. Most of them are liars. Okay? The same way they are going to slander somebody for you, the same way they are going to slander you for somebody else. Alright? And if you are parents, you are siblings, please call these bad behaviors out. Especially the women in these situations. Call them out. Stop enabling the bad behaviors. Because you might think it will never happen to you, but it can happen to you. When that scapegoat finally leaves, they are going to turn their attention onto you. Yes, and any man who will never protect you, that is not your man. No, that's not your person. Bounce. Anyway, I don't want to talk too much, so thank you so much for watching. Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and I'll see you again with another video. Take care of yourselves. Bye.